It took a while, but all of the World Cup squads have officially been announced. And now we can start to actually look at, how these teams could actually line up. So, I've picked the 10 or so biggest countries going to this World Cup. And, we're just going to be exploring, how that could be lining up. So, let's get, right into it with the current champions, Argentina. Okay, so I feel like Argentina could be lining up in the 4-2-2 formation because they have a lot of cams, obviously, in their squad. And, the two strikers are some of the better ones in the world. So in goal, it is pretty obvious. It is going to be Aston Villa's Europa League winner, Emiliano Martinez. If I can find his name, here we go, Emiliano Martinez. Obviously, he potentially saved them in the World Cup last time out, saving that, potential last-minute goal from Kolo Muani in extra time, and then obviously did pretty well in the penalty shooter as well. And then for their fullbacks, it's probably the weakest in the entire squad, to be honest. But I'm just checking who I've gone for. I've gone for Tagliafico. I don't know, this could really be anyone. I'm just picking him because he's been around for a long time. I think he's definitely getting on a bit. And then right back, I do think this one is a bit more, I'll say, obvious. Molina. He has had a decent season at Atletico Madrid, I think. And I think that will definitely be the fullback partnership for Argentina, potentially. And then for centre-backs, obviously, Romero is going to be there. He was very good last World Cup, and he's been decent at times for Tottenham this season, which isn't really saying much considering they finished 17th. And then I think that Lisandro Martinez will be the other centre-back. You could argue Otamendi in there. I think he was the main centre-back at the last World Cup for Argentina. But no, I think he's going to be phased out of this World Cup, and it's going to be Romero and Martinez at the back. And then in midfield, I don't think it'll be Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez made a name for himself last World Cup, and I think he will do okay this time around. He hasn't had the best season, but neither has Chelsea. And the same can be said for the other midfielder, Alexis McAllister. Part of me thinks he won't be playing too much at this World Cup at all. There are rumours that he's going to even retire after this World Cup, which I don't think is going to be true at all. He's felt out of his depth this season. He's had his moments like scoring that goal against Real Madrid, but other than that, he's really just been very poor compared to his standards. And then for the two cams, the first one I want to say is going to be Nico Paz. I watch a lot of Serie A, and this guy is just a baller, man. He's gonna be crazy at this World Cup. And then I think it will be Messi. Messi will be playing a little bit further back. I don't think he's gonna be playing up top this World Cup because the two strikers in this team are gonna be Julian Alvarez. This guy most likely going to Barcelona after the World Cup, and I think that move genuinely makes Barcelona a contender for the Champions League next season. He's just a very good striker. I've always thought he was a good striker, by the way, very early on in his City days. And finally, we have Lautaro Martinez. I think you've got to start Martinez at least in the group stage, because as we know, Lautaro is very good against, the worst teams, and, Argentina don't really have the toughest group, so I think Martinez can definitely stat pad, that's the word I'm looking for, stat pad a lot in the group stage. And I do think that Messi may not be playing, the most minutes in this tournament because of his age, so don't be surprised if Messi Antonio plays a bit there, or even for Nico Paz either. Now we're going to be moving over to the Netherlands, who I think will be playing a 5-back. Everyone is just making jokes that they should, just play an entire, defense and like one striker just because of how stacked their defense is compared to everyone else. But, I mean, obviously that isn't, going to be the case. So I think for goals, who did I put? I can't remember. Robin Roofs. So I mean, obviously, how do I spell it? Roofs, there we go. I think Robin Roofs will be the starting goalkeeper, at least he should be. I mean, obviously, he's been an absolute gun for Sunderland this season. Really, really good, helping them get to Europa League. But obviously, it wouldn't be the biggest surprise if, like, Verbruggen from Brighton starts either. They're just, I don't know, so evenly matched in the goalkeeper position that it really isn't too big of a surprise of who should start there. And then, for right back, it's definitely going to be Denzel Dumfries. I mean, he hasn't had the greatest season this season. I mean, Inter Milan haven't either. But I mean, I mainly only watch this guy, in international games. And this guy is always so good for the Netherlands for whatever reason. And then at left back, who did I put? I put Hato at left back. I mean, that's just because I couldn't really think who else could play left back. I mean, Hato, he hasn't played much this season at all for Chelsea. And I don't know, he definitely might not, play. But I don't know, that's just who I think, is the best player to fill in that spot. Then left centre back, I will be putting Van de Ven. I mean, obviously, he's a very fast player. It wouldn't surprise me if maybe he even plays left back and maybe like Nathan Ake plays centre back. I mean, Van de Ven, very good player in my opinion. He's very athletic. He's very fast, like one of the fastest players in the world. And yeah, he'll definitely be able to help the Netherlands defend, which is, what his job is. Then right centre back, I will say it's going to be Jurrien Timber. Obviously, he has mainly played at right back this season. And I know he is a little bit injured at the moment. But, I mean, I still think if he can, he should definitely be starting. I mean, we know he can also play centre back, which is why I'm playing him as like a wide centre back. And let, Dumfries, play wing back, which is what he does at, Inter Milan. And then central centre back is obviously going to be not their captain, not Van Dijk. Again, he hasn't had the best season to his standards, but he's still definitely the best player in this team, no doubt. And then I do think they will be playing with two midfielders for this World Cup. Gotta just find that real quick. That will do. Why not? So I think they'll be playing with three midfielders this World Cup. I think the first one will be Frankie de Jong. I mean, he's probably their best midfielder right now. Had a very good season for Barcelona. And then I think next to him will be Ryan Gravenberch. I still think he's a very good top quality player. I know a lot of Liverpool fans kind of not ruled him out, but don't think he's, done the best. But I still think Gravenberch is a very good player. And then I will say that the last midfielder should be Tijani Reinders. He hasn't had, the best season for Man City. I think I spelled his name wrong. There he is, Tijani. I hasn't, again, as I said, had the best season for City. Hasn't played too much, but that's not necessarily his fault. City have a very, very stacked team. And I do think we'll have a good World Cup. And then I think that we'll be playing it with like a two-striker system, maybe like a bit of a false nine. That false nine could be, unfortunately, Cody Gakpo though. I mean, he had a very, very good Euro 2024 campaign, being one of the breakout stars of that season, which then carried over to Liverpool in, Arne Slot's first season. I don't know if he'll be able to have the same turnout this season, but this World Cup. But someone who I do think could do really good is Daniel Marlin. I mean, absolutely smashed it in Serie A this season. I mean, definitely would have been, top goal scorer if he was there the entire, season. And yeah, this is right around how I think, the Netherlands could start for this World Cup. And now we are moving over to Brazil, who I will probably play a fullback, but if I'm being honest, they should definitely consider playing a three-back, because they've got three of the very best centre-backs in the world. But starting off with keeper, none other than Alisson Becker. I think I missed an S there. Yep. I still think he's, second, maybe third best in the world. He is a bit injury prone, but I mean, it's a 7-game tournament. He should definitely be starting. And then for the centre-backs, my first pick is going to be Bremer from Juventus. I think he's an absolutely amazing player. Very fast, and not as fast as Van de Ven, but still a very good player physically. And then, obviously, Champions League winner, Marquinhos, is definitely going to be in the starting 11. And then, my man of the match of the Champions League final, Gabriel. Just an absolute Rolls Royce of a defender. And then for the wing backs, I will put Wesley here from Roma. He, I think, is a very, very good player. He has scored a few good goals. Like, I think back to that one he scored against Juventus. I think he's had a good season. And then left back, probably the weakest position out of them all. I'm putting former Juventus player Alexandro. I have no idea how old this bloke is right now. Surprised to see him here. But yeah, I mean, just out of, the few options they have, he's going to have to start there. Then in midfield, I will have Casemiro, who a lot of people at the start of the season would not think he would be at this World Cup. But now he's going to be a starting player for them. And I think Bruno Guimaraes is also going to be starting. I think he's severely underrated. And then at right wing, I will have Rafinha. He obviously used to play there a bit for Leeds United, and I think for Barcelona at the start as well. And then obviously at the left, none other than Vinicius Jr. Very, very good. And then Igor Thiago will be striker, I reckon. There's a chance he doesn't start just because, he plays for Brentford and all that. But yeah, I think Igor Thiago should be starting for them. I mean, he's got 20 goals for Brentford. That is definitely worthwhile him starting, in my opinion. Right, so after Brazil, I think I want to move on to the team that beat them 7-1 a few years ago, Germany. So I think Germany, they're definitely going to be playing a 4-2-3-1. And actually, no. 4-2-3-1, sorry. They'll play a 4-2-3-1. And I think their goalkeeper, it should be Manuel Neuer. I can't really see anyone else. But that's first. Wait, I think I spelled his name wrong, didn't I? Wait. Am I stupid? Or just not coming up? Oh, I know. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Manuel Neuer. I mean, he is still a very good goalkeeper. He's definitely starting to have his moments, but I mean, you just can't really put anyone else at goalkeeper other than him. And then at right back, I don't think it will be Joshua Kimmich. It's definitely not his best position, but just looking at Germany's other midfielders and also their fullbacks, they don't really have anyone else to play right back other than him, so he will have to play there. Then left back, I think, will be David Raum. Again, can't say that I know too much about this guy, but I do know he's a solid left back and he's also very fast, so he should be able to overlap with Musiala, who is obviously going to be playing in this squad, probably at the left cam, if I have to guess. And there we go, John Musiala. But let's also do the centre-backs first, real quick. Jonathan Tah, amazing season. Just stepped it up to another level, of course. But next to him, Nico Schlotterbeck. A lot of teams are after him this season. And I don't know where he's going to go. Probably Real Madrid. I don't think he's going to Liverpool. Okay, centre mids now. Angelo Stiller, very, very good player. And next to him, I forgot his name, who was it? Pavlovic, that's right. Again, another very good player, very good for Bayern Munich. Definitely should be getting more game time. And then Cam, I don't care how bad of a season he has had, it's going to be Florian Wirtz. He always still somehow is good for Germany, no matter how bad he is for Liverpool. And I do think he's going to have a good World Cup. And then I will just skip out on right wing for a second and go with striker. And it's obviously going to be one of the two, being Kai Havertz or Walter Mata. I would personally give Walter Mata a go. I just think he's a good striker. I mean, he was very good for Newcastle at the start of the season, not so much later on, but I definitely think he can do a job. And then I think Leonard Carl should actually start. I mean, this kid is very good. If Jamal's here, he's probably like here, I'd say, like in potential. I mean, Jamal's just so much better than everyone else right now. Then yeah, Carl, I think he should definitely be, starting for this German squad. Okay, I just realized I wasn't recording that entire time when I did the German squad. But I mean, yeah, here it is. Hopefully I remember to just put, their faces up on the screen as I was talking about them. Anyway, who we're doing next, we're gonna do France. So I think France should actually line up in a 5-back, just because of how good their centre backs are, and also their limited quality in midfield. Obviously, starting off in goals, Mike Maignan, very, very good goalkeeper. He has saved AC Milan quite a few times this season, but has also cost them as well. But I do think he's the best goalkeeper. They're definitely not starting Chevalier over him. Then right back, Jules Koundé. Again, he had a very good season 2 seasons ago. This season, not so much, but I mean, I still think he's a very good player. And then at left back, it's just going to be, who you would expect, Theo Hernandez. I'm not going to lie, no idea how he is going at Al Hilal this season. But I mean, there's not really anyone else who could go there. And then at centre-backs, we're going to have Ibrahima Konate. He's leaving Liverpool, most likely to go to Real Madrid. Hopefully for him it works out. And then the other centre-back, definitely going to be Upamecano. Again, he is a little bit like mistake-prone. Not as much this season as compared to previous seasons. And then, of course, you're going to have William Saliba, one of the best centre-backs in the world. And then I think in the midfield, it's going to be N'Golo Kante coming back. I mean, I don't know. This could be a bit of a rogue shout. I don't know if he will actually start, but I definitely think he should be starting, especially because Camavinga and just Tchouaméni just have not been anywhere near up to the standard this season, which means that the other midfielder I have is Rabiot. I mean, I don't know why Deschamps just loves Rabiot. I think he's going to be starting for France yet again this tournament. And then obviously left wing, Kylian Mbappe. I mean, he is crying at Real Madrid all the time, saying that he wants to play at that left wing spot. So I mean, I think they should just let him play there for, France. And then right wing, it could be Doué, it could be any, Turkey, but I'm going to say it's going to be Michael Olise, one of the best players in the world right now. And then someone who is probably going to be playing a bit more of a false 9, current Ballon d'Or winner, Ousmane Dembele. Did not have a great Champions League final. And you know what, I'm going to say it, I don't think he's going to have a great World Cup, so I don't think he's going to go back-to-back. But I do think Mbappe, he's going to definitely do something at this World Cup, that's all I'm going to say. And now I think I'm going to move on to Portugal, who will play, the bare basic 4-2-3-1. In goals, only really one guy. It is going to be Diogo Costa of Porto. I mean, this guy, I don't know how he hasn't gotten a move yet. He definitely deserves to be playing, in one of the top 5 leagues. And he's just a very good keeper. He, from memory, saved Portugal quite a few times at the Euros. I think he had a very good penalty shootout from memory. Anyway, at right back, it's going to be João Cancelo. He just went to Barcelona for the last 6 months, and from what I have heard, he has performed very good for them since joining. So obviously, he hasn't lost, anything from playing in Saudi. And then left back, best fullback in the world, without a doubt in my mind, Nuno Mendes is going to be playing there. He can attack, he can defend. He is going to lock up every single right winger at this World Cup. And then defense, I'll put Ruben Diaz. Hasn't played too much this season because obviously Margehi and Kusanov kind of have replaced him at City. And then the other centre-back, it could be, Antonio Silva. But I do think a safer bet is Inacio. Again, don't really know much about this guy. I just know that he's a pretty solid centre-back. Then in the midfield, very obvious, Vitinha, the actual man of the match of the Champions League final. And then his compatriot, João Neves, who, I'm not going to lie, is better than Vitinha. Anyway, right wing, I think I put Conceição, is that right? Yeah, Conceição, I think, is going to be playing there. I mean, he's a very passionate player. He's not the most effective, but he can dribble past a few players. So against like the Uzbekistans and who else I got, Congo, he should be good. And then we're going to have Rafael Leao. I spelled that name wrong. The potential new Man United man. I don't know if he's actually going to be going there. But I mean, again, not the best season for Milan, but I still think he's a top quality player and should be starting. And then, not Elise. Bruno Fernandes, the, top assister of Premier League history. The most assists in a Premier League season in history. Obviously, only like 8 of those are actually open play assists. But I mean, you can't argue with the fact that Bruno Fernandes basically saved Manchester United. And then obviously at top, it's not going to be another situation like the last World Cup. Ronaldo is going to be the main man this time around. And now we are going to be moving on to Spain, who just like Portugal, going to be using this 4-2-3-1. I mean, obviously their goalkeeper situation is a bit strange. They've got the likes of João Garcia and David Raya, who I think is the best keeper in the world right now. But in all likelihood, Unai Simon is going to be the starting goalkeeper. I mean, he's just always their goalkeeper. Don't be 100% surprised if it is going to be Raya in goals. But no, I think Simon is going to be starting at the right back spot. At the goalkeeper spot. But at the right back spot, I will put Marcos Llorente. It could potentially be Pedro Porro. I mean, it was Carvajal at the Euros. Obviously not going this time round. But I do think Marcos Llorente deserves to be here. He has always been such a good player for so long now. I think he does deserve to, actually play for the Spain team. And, their fullback pairing is pretty strong because we have, in my opinion, the most overhated player. Well, one of the most overhated players in the world, Marco Correa. His hair is a bit of a mess, don't get me wrong. But, it does come to his advantage at times. He does draw a lot of fouls, which will definitely help Spain. And then at the centre-back spot, I will put Kubasi. Definitely going to be, the future of this side. And I would have put Dean Huijsen next to him. But he's not even called up, which I was, shocked to see. So I guess it's just going to be Aymeric Laporte at centre-back. That, could definitely be a liability for them. I don't know why they would not call up Dean Huijsen, even though he hasn't had, a great season. I still think he's been alright. Anyway, then midfield, going to be Pedri. On his day, the best midfielder in the world. And alongside him, it's going to be Rodri as well, I think. Could make an argument for Zubimendi. But no, if Rodri is at his, full fitness, he should definitely be starting in this squad. Then at right wing, Yamal, obviously, most obvious, position in this entire list. I don't think he's going to be playing much the knockout stage, as I have mentioned in the past, because of his injury. But definitely, he's going to be running up and down that wing during the knockout stage. And alongside him, his partner in crime, Nico Williams. Obviously missing out on his Barcelona move because of Anthony Gordon, who, let's be real, why has he gone to Barcelona? But yeah, Nico Williams potentially ruined his career, but I think he should still be starting for Spain. And then I think at cam, it should be Dani Olmo. Obviously overshadowed by the likes of Fermin at Barcelona. But I'm pretty sure Fermin is injured right now. But that doesn't make a difference to me because I still would have started Dani Olmo here. I do think that Fermin is the better player. But Dani Olmo always turns up for Spain. I'm pretty sure he was the tied top goal scorer of the Euros. I think he was only on like 4 goals. But he also didn't play too much, so that is, very good of him. And then striker, I can't remember. Yeah, it's going to be Ferran Torres. I mean, I thought it might be Samu, because they have kind of tried to, get him into the squad. But no, he didn't even make the squad, I don't think. So I think Ferran Torres is going to be Spain's starting striker. And if you're wondering why my hair's a bit wet, that is because I just came out of the shower, and when I got out, I realized that I forgot to do England, so we're just gonna do them real quick. So in goals, it's gonna be the same person as always. If it, if this was we put it in, there we go. It's gonna be Jordan Pickford. You could make an argument for Dean Henderson of Crystal Palace, because he has had a very good season, winning the Conference League this year. But no, I think Pickford has been one of the best keepers in the Premier League this season. Probably second best to David Raya, of course. Then right back, there's going to be Reece James. I mean, there's not really any other right backs they called up other than like Jed Spence, but I can't really see him touching the pitch at all, if I'm being honest. You could make an argument for Trent as well, but he didn't get called up. And then left back is going to be potentially second, maybe third best left back in the world right now, Nico O'Reilly. Wait, I did Nico O'Reilly, not O'Reilly. Yeah, there we go, Nico O'Reilly. I mean, he's an absolute gun of a left back. He scores so many important goals for Man City, like in that Carabao Cup final, or was it the FA Cup final? Carabao Cup final. Yeah, where he scored like 2 goals and helped Man City win. He's just really good, and I think he's going to really make a name for himself at this tournament. And then the centre-backs, again, pretty simple. Mark Gay, he was very good at the Euros last time out, and he's only gotten better since then. And yeah, he's going to be a very good, serviceable player for the Three Lions. And then I would put Harry Maguire in this other centre-back spot, but he did not get called up, which I think is a bit crazy because he had one of his best years in a very long time, and he didn't get called up. So instead I'm going to put Konza. He has played for England for a while now, never really been an out-and-out starter, but I think this time round he probably will be starting for England. And then in the midfield, the first one is Elliot Anderson. He is, wanted by so many top teams like Manchester United, Man City. And I don't know if he's going to make that move this year or if he's going to stay for another year or so. But, I mean, he's a very good player. And, well, that's why he's in this team. But, I mean, he's not as good as Declan Rice, is he? I mean, Declan Rice is just a different level. I mean, he's a bit cringe sometimes. Like, did you see his smile after Arsenal lost in the Champions League final? What happened here? I mean, yeah, that is a bit cringe, but I still think that Declan Rice, one of the best midfielders in the world. But we got his teammate and the right wing with Bukayo Saka. I mean, this is really just because they don't have many options at the right wing spot. I probably would have put Foden there, but he didn't get called up. But, I mean, Saka, he's a good player. He hasn't had the best of seasons. Especially, you know, with Arsenal winning the league, you'd think he'd play a bit more of an important role. But, I mean, I don't know. This is why I don't think England's going to do too amazing at this World Cup, because their attack is pretty weak. Because at the left wing, we have Marcus Rashford. Again, he has not played for England for ages, I don't think, at least. So, yeah, it's good to see him back. And I definitely think he should be starting over the player that Barcelona just signed, Anthony Gordon. Rashford is just such a better player than Anthony Gordon. It's not even funny. Then in Cam, yes, obviously, Jude Bellingham. He's had a very quiet season this year. I'm not sure if he was injured. I mean, he must have been, because I just didn't hear his name at all. But, I mean, you saw his goal against, I think it was Slovakia at the Euros. Even if he's having a bad tournament, he can still come up with a clutch goal every now and then, which I think this England team will definitely need if they want to actually do something at this tournament. And someone who will definitely do something at this tournament is Harry Kane, I think. I mean, he is potentially the front runner for the Ballon d'Or right now, and it's hard to not see why he scored like 40 plus goals for Bayern Munich this season. He's just been so good, and I can see his form, you know, potentially translating to this World Cup. But then again, he has Luis Diaz and Elise, and then Musiala for a little bit of the season behind him. But now he's got Rashford and Saka on the wings, which it just isn't going to be the same. And then, you know what? Let's just do one more lineup. Let's do Australia's squad, because, you know, I'm from Australia. So, I think we're probably going to line up in a 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-3. Yeah, there we go. And goalkeeper, obviously going to be Matt Ryan. There's literally no one else that I think could be in this spot. Oh, I guess I have to do his first name first to find him. I always forget, I always forget how to spell his name. There we go, Matthew Ryan. I mean, he's been pretty decent for Levante this season. Not that I've watched him, I've just seen, like, clips every now and then, and also, like, just stuff from, like, FotMob. But I know Levante, I'm pretty sure they got relegated, but I think Matt Ryan definitely helped them not finish like a dead last in La Liga. Then centre-backs, I think Lucas Harrington should definitely be here from what I've seen of him. I mean, you could make an argument for Burgess, but no, I think Harrington is on at least a very similar level to him right now, and he's obviously going to be the future of this team, so he should be starting. And then we have a very underrated player, in my opinion, with Harry Souttar. He is going to get on the edge of at least one corner this tournament. He's definitely getting a goal, and he's just so good, in my opinion. Like, I mean, I know he's been injured for like a long time now, but I don't care. And then the other centre-back spot is going to be, well, maybe you probably say our best centre-back, Alessandro Ceccati of Parma. I've only seen him play against Juventus this season, but he has always done all right, even though I think we smashed them like 4-0 in one game. But anyway, I still think he's a very good player for the Socceroos. And then at right wing back, I think I'll put Italiano. I mean, again, I haven't watched much of him, but I still think he's a good player. He also hasn't been called up before, I don't think. I think this is his first call up, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays. I do think he should be starting though. Alright, and now at the left back spot, if it, My laptop wants to work for once, that'd be nice. There we go, Geordie Boss. I mean, no other player could be in this position for me, really. Just an amazing player, Feyenoord's finest, really. He's got the most assists for them, I think, in the Eredivisie this season, and yeah. This is going to be his breakout tournament. He's probably going to get a move to a very decent team at the end of this tournament, I think. Then midfield, I mean, this was a bit of a toss-up. I think Jackson Irvine, he's definitely a mainstay in this squad by now. He should be here. And then I'm not really sure who our centre-back could be. I'm going to have to stick with Aiden O'Neill, though. I mean, I think you could also throw in like a Matthew Leckie in there as well. I mean, it really could be anyone in this second midfield spot. And then at right cam, it should be Nestor Irakunda, I think. If I can type his name in. He's just an absolute baller. He hasn't, played too much for Watford from what I've seen. I might just type his last name in, it might be easier. Yeah, so he hasn't played much for Watford, but I remember seeing at the start of the season, this guy was always scoring free kicks for them. Absolute bangers. He's definitely going to get one at this tournament as well. And then at the left wing, I might put Volpato. I mean, just because, I don't know how good this guy really is. People say he's good, but I don't know, is he Australia good, or is he, actually good? Only time will tell. You could also make an argument that maybe Irakunda and Volpato can switch wings. I mean, they're both primarily right wingers, so I guess it doesn't really matter who you put where. And then up top, it's going to have to be Mohamed Toure of Norwich City. He has had an absolutely amazing season, second half of the season with Norwich. He's scored, I want to say, close to 10 goals this season, which is pretty good for a pretty, average Norwich City team. And this is how I think Australia is going to line up at the World Cup. And hopefully this is going to be good enough to at least make it to the round of 32. Anyway, let me know what players you would, switch out from, any of these lineups. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how much I get right. Anyway.